State of mind, ADODM, se Rambo, heinis, köyhä, jone ja tee. Kroomin katku, hyvällinen kun pomma seinä äleeli.
Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking on a subject that is really touchy to a lot of people, but I wasn't put here to worry about hurting nobody's feelings. I tell the truth on everything that the knowledge that I share with anyone else. So, with that being said, today I'm talking about what I call hell days. We celebrate all this evil things without even thinking twice about what we're celebrating, without even questioning. But every holiday that you think about, the first thing that comes to mind is money. It's not about anything other than that. Okay, when you think about Christmas, you think about money and spending money on presents and all this other junk. Okay, then you think about Easter. You still spending money on chocolate, flour, whatever the case may be. Valentine's, you still spending money on whatever the case may be. New Year's, you're spending money on whatever the case may be. Most of the time it's alcohol. Okay, so all these holidays are based around nothing but money. But that is not where they originally originated from. All these holidays are celebrating human sacrifice, literally human sacrifice. I have plenty of information to share. You really should take the time to invest all the stuff that you're putting energy into, because you're putting energy into stuff that you have no clue what it is. So I suggest you be wisely in choosing what to put your energy into, because the longer we're celebrating this, the longer we're keeping this evil traditions and nonsense alive. And I think it's really time to die. I mean, I really do, because every year it's the same thing. Black Friday is the worst day you could think of. People are literally fighting like animals, dogs, wolves, whatever you want to call it, over the stupidest shit you can think of. Video games, shoes, clothes, whatever the case may be. It's all materialistic bullshit. When you die, it's not going with you. So for you to sit here and almost lose your life over maybe a pair of shoes or shirt, phone, whatever, that shows how idiotic that the people in this world has became. Literally just brainwashed to the core, where they literally do no independent thinking. It's all based on what the next person is doing. And as long as you live your life like that, things will never change, because you're wasting your life on things that do not even matter. The money that you are calling money is not even money. It's paper. It has no value whatsoever. It's just paper. And we're literally taking lives over this paper. So, anyway, with that being said, I just wanted to plant that seed in minds to grow. Start doing your own research and understand what the world is really about instead of what you want it to be. Quit being scared to be your own person and see what life really is. Don't be like the next person, only be like yourself. It's easier to be yourself than to be like anyone else. So anyway, I'm about to read this information, and I will put all the information below of all. There's so much material that you can go check out for yourself, so I will put all that below the video. So I'll talk more whenever I get through reading this information. Okay, Christian holidays are ancient pagan feasts that were were ushered in by the Roman Catholic Church during the rule of Emperor Constantine. Constantine was a pagan sun worshipper who had a Christian experience that wanted to unite his empire, both Christian and pagan, together. He achieved this by rewriting his story, not history, his story, and renaming pagan feasts with Christian names. Valentine's Day. Pagans in Rome celebrated the evening of February the 14th and February the 15th, and as idolatrous festival in honor of Lupercus, the hunter of wolves. It was not until the reign of Pope Gelasius that the holiday became a Christian custom, as far back as 496. Pope Gelasius changed Lupercalia on February the 15th to St. Valentine's Day on February the 14th. The original St. Valentine was Nimrod. On this day in February, Semiramis, the mother of Tammuz, was said to have been purified and to have appeared for the first time in the public with her son, the original mother and child, which is where you get Mary from. Mother's and Father's Day. Mother's Day dates back to ancient cultures in Greece and Rome. In both cultures, mother goddesses, queen of heaven, were worshipped during the springtime with religious festivals. The ancient Greeks paid tribute to the powerful goddess Rhea, the wife of Cronus, known as the mother of the gods, queen of heaven. Similarly, evidence of the 3-day Roman festival in mid-March called Hilaria to honor the Roman goddesses Magna Mater, or Great Mother, dates back to 250 BCE. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, the celebration of the Mother Church replaced the pagan tradition of honoring mythological goddesses. The fourth Sunday in Lent, Weeping for Tammuz, a 40-day fasting period before Easter, became known as Mothering Sunday. To show appreciation for their mothers, they often brought gifts or a mothering cake, Jeremiah 7:18, and over time it began to coincide with the celebration of the Mother Church. Mother's Day always fall on the second Sunday of May, and like so many other holidays rooted in pagan sun worship, including Father's Day, which always falls on the third Sunday of June, usually fall on the day named in honor of their most powerful god, the sun, which is not Jesus, what people call it, is the actual sun. S-U-N, not S-O-N. Easter Sunday. Easter of Ishtar, also known by her biblical name Semiramis, and later called the Queen of Heaven, was the widow of Nimrod and mother of Tammuz. Easter is the bare-breasted pagan fertility goddess of the East. Legend has it that she came out of heaven in a giant egg, landing on the Euphrates River at sunrise on the first Sunday after the vernal equinox busted out, and turned a bird into an egg-laying rabbit. Right. To honor this event, pagan sun worshippers would go out early in the morning and face to the east to watch their sun god arise over the horizon before having a mass sacrifice in which the priest of Easter would sacrifice 3-month-old human infants and take the eggs of Easter and dye them in the blood of the sacrificed infants. The blood-red colored Easter eggs you know, the shit you're painting and hiding for your kids, would later hatch on December the 25th, hence the rise of Jesus. The same day her son Tammuz, the reincarnate sun god, would be born. How convenient. Easter married her son Tammuz, who was by legend the reincarnate sun god. Tammuz went pig hunting and was gored to death by a wild boar, and that is why pagans eat ham on Easter. You know, for all of you eating your pork. Because Tammuz was killed when he was 40 years old. Pagans fast one day for each of the years that he lived leading into Easter. This practice is known as weeping for Tammuz by pagans, but called Lent by Catholics. Halloween. You know, where you're dressing your kids up in all these satanic-ass costumes and taking them to go get candy from complete strangers. All Saints' Day was followed by All Souls' Day, November 2, unless that was a Sunday, then it was November 3. This was another Catholic adaptation of pagan festivals for the dead. Prayers for the dead are an integral part of the traditional All Saints' Day services, which are scheduled in Catholic churches on November the 1st, and on the next Sunday, Halloween gets its name from the Catholic holiday. It is a Halloween evening because it precedes All Hallows' Day, thus Halloween. Halloween is a pagan holiday to honor the dead and evil spirits. We are warned not to take part in customs and traditions like this in the scripture. Take heed to yourself that you not be ensnared to follow them, after that they are destroyed from before you, and that you not inquire after the deities, saying, how do these nations serve their deities? I will do likewise. You shall not do so to Yahuwah your Elohim, for every abomination to the Yahuwah which he hates have they done to their deities, for even their sons and their daughters do they burn in the fire to their deities. Him Deuteronomy. Halloween is a perfect example of what this passage is referring about. Pagans served their gods by honoring the evil spirits on Halloween. They did this by dressing up like the evil spirits and giving offerings to the evil spirits. This is why candy is given out on Halloween, as offerings for the evil spirits. This phrase, trick or treat, was attributed to this practice because pagans believed the evil spirits would do something bad, trick to them, if they did not leave an offering treat for them. I would rather honor the Most High. I would also. Thanksgiving. Thanks-taking. The pagans in Rome celebrated their Thanksgiving in early October. The holiday was dedicated to the goddess of the harvest, Ceres, and the holiday was called Cerealia. The Catholic Church took over the pagan holiday, and it became well established in England, where some of the pagan customs and rituals for this day were observed long after the Roman Empire had disappeared in England. The harvest home has been observed continuously for centuries. In our own hemisphere, among the Aztecs of Mexico, the harvest took on a grimmer aspect. Each year, young girl, a representation of Zilonian, the goddess of the new corn, was beheaded. The Pawnees also sacrificed a girl in a more temperate mood. The Cherokees of the American Southeast danced the green corn dance and began the new year at Harvest Inn, which is also the fake New Year's Day. Because we're not on the calendar that we was meant to be on. We're on a pagan calendar. No wonder Chief Mazoit and his 90 brave felt right at home with the Pilgrim Fathers on that day in 1621. Obviously, the idea for this first Thanksgiving did not just pop into the mind of Governor Bradford, as most people believe. On the contrary, Thanksgiving in the guise of the pagan harvest festivals can be traced right back to the ancient Babylon and the worship of Semiramis. Christmas. Christmas was celebrated by pagan sun worships for thousands of years before the Messiah was even born. It all started during the building of the Tower of Babel. Nimrod supervised the operation and was called the sun god and worshipped as such. To end this worship, Nimrod's uncle Shem, Noah's eldest son, killed Nimrod and cut his body into small pieces, then scattered his body parts across the land. Remember now, this is what you're celebrating when you're spending all this money on all these Christmas presents. Ishtar of Easter, also known by her biblical name Semiramis, was the widow of Nimrod. She was called the Queen of Heaven and claimed to have been impregnated by Nimrod through the rays of the sun, and later had a son by the name of Tammuz, who had a miraculous birth on December the 25th. Pagans believed that Nimrod was reincarnated as Tammuz, and so Easter married her son Tammuz. Pagan sun worshippers celebrated the birthday of the reincarnate sun god on December the 25th. Scripture is very clear that we are not to celebrate this particular holiday. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead the dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and pour out drink offerings to other deities, that they may provoke me to anger. The passage above is obviously referring to making Christmas cookies and leaving those cookies and a glass of milk for Nimrod's widow Esther, who was called the Queen of Heaven. The only difference is now those offerings are left for Santa, meaning Satan himself. Let's move on and read another passage from Scripture. Thus says Yahuwah, do not learn the way of the Gentiles, and do not be dismayed at the signs of the heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vanity, for one cuts a tree out of the forest, the work of the lands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it not move. Him, Jeremiah 10:2-4. This passage is obviously referring to cutting down the Christmas tree, putting on some sort of tree stand, and decorating it. Once you learn why it had become customary to use an erect evergreen tree that has a pointed end decorate, it with big red balls. You will realize the extent of the perversion in this holiday. The erect tree symbolizes Nimrod's erect masculinity. The tree was evergreen because evergreen trees are full of life year-round like Nimrod's penis. The tree was pointed at the end just like Nimrod's pecker. The big red balls that dangle off the tree, well, you get the picture. This holiday is perversion at its best. So why are you celebrating this with your children and having them believe in this thing we call Santa Claus? You need to wake up and quit teaching your kids this nonsense, evil bullshit. Every sun god was born on December 25th. Amun-Ra, Horus, Mithra, Tammuz, and Zeus were born on December the 25th. If there was one day that the Messiah was not born, it was December the 25th. In fact, the scripture is quite clear that the Messiah was born late September or early October, on the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles. Sunday services. Early believers kept Saturday as the Sabbath until March 7, 321 CE, when Pope Constantine passed a law requiring believers to worship on Sunday, which is their pagan day, worship the sun god. Believers still kept Saturday at the Sabbath until another law was passed 11 years later. This law, signed into decree by Pope Constantine, forbid believers to worship on the Sabbath, Saturday, and it was punished by death by the Catholic Church. Many believers were burned to death by the Catholic Church for keeping the Sabbath. But these are supposed to be the holiest motherfuckers on the world, right? Pardon my language, but I'm fed up with this shit, really, and you should be too, because all of us are still following all these fucking evil-ass, satanic-ass agenda holidays. Okay, if you actually believe in all this shit, okay, and you really want to do shit for your family, okay, you're allowed to do that all year round. Why do you have to wait till one certain day of the year to do anything that you want to do? That's the point. Okay, every day is Mother's Day, every day is Father's Day, every day someone's becoming a parent. Okay, so why are we just celebrating this one day? Ain't nobody ever thought about that. Okay, and then you think about Christmas, okay, and you're spending all this money on all this materialistic, completely bullshit. But okay, if you want to do something for somebody, why do you have to wait till this certain day to do it? You do stuff for, if you care about somebody or love somebody, you go see them all year round. Or you buy them something all year round. You don't have to wait till no one certain day to then decide to do the fake ass shit by, okay, you haven't seen this person all year round, but now, oh, it's whatever hell day you want to call it. Now it's like, okay, well, I need to go see them this day. Why is it such an importance of that day to do whichever day it is? Whether it's Easter, Christmas, July the 1st, 4th, whatever. Why do you have to wait on this certain day to do whatever it is you want to do? Because that's what you're not getting, because it's all revolved around money. In case you haven't noticed that yet, the masses are sitting back and having their ass a good-ass chuckle over seeing how stupid individuals is. They will go spend their whole paycheck on the stupidest shit, like a pair of shoes, a shirt, whatever it is. When that's the stupidest shit you can do. Put that money into getting some seeds and planting seeds and growing your own food and worrying about the future instead of right now. Because worrying about right now, there ain't going to be no future left, because the world is going to be completely destroyed. Because everybody's too worried about materialistic bullshit that you're not even going to take with you when you leave here. And if there is a heaven up there, I guarantee you they ain't up there counting money or talking about some damn shoes or the next latest shirt or whatever, whoever the next latest dumbass idol is that everybody's following because it's just the coolest shit. So, I don't get it. But you can take the time and go check all this information out for yourself. Because the longer people keep celebrating into this traditional ass bullshit, stuff's never going to change. Ever. It's always going to be messed up. Because you're putting all your energy into the masses that does not give a shit about you. You're spending all your money on all these quote-unquote name brand clothes, but have you checked out who the person is that the name of the clothes that you're buying is on? Have you checked out to see how prejudiced and racist this person is against a whole race of people? And you're sitting there buying their name brand shit like it's just cool as shit to wear this shit when they don't give two fucks about you. You think if your ass was sitting on the side of the road and this motherfucker passed you by, you think they'd stop and pick your ass up? Even with their name brand shit on your ass? I guarantee you not. So think about that shit while you're spending your money on, all your hard-earned money on all this bullshit that means nothing. It takes, what, 25 cents, 50 cents to make a pair of shoes and even Jordans. And you'll go spend $300 on a pair of shoes. You're a fucking idiot. Idiot to the core. Because there's so much more stuff into more positive stuff to put your money into to create a better world for humanity. Not just thinking about yourself. Think about everyone around you. The world has literally turned into complete shit. In case ain't nobody looked around lately, it's complete shit. Everywhere you go, service is fucked up. People's attitude is fucked up. Nobody gives a fuck about nobody no more. But yet, you'll still sit here and spend your money on all this crap without thinking twice about it. Because everybody else said these are the coolest, whatever. So you really should think about all of this, because everything is literally going to shit. Everything. So keep living in your little fantasy world and believing in all this bullshit. And it's going to continue to be bullshit. So I'm going to put all this information below. You can go check out all of it. And there's even more stuff about it. So you can go check out all of it. You never got to take my word for anything, because I want you to go do all your own research. I encourage you to. And prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And I guarantee you're not going to be able to. Because the truth is going to outweigh the lie any given second of the day. So go ahead and do your research. Find out for yourself. Teach your own mind. Plant your own seeds. Spread the knowledge. Instead of just being happy by being so dumbed down and brainwashed. I don't want to wake up. I want to stay in my pixie dust world. Well, you stay in your pixie dust world, because the warriors I know with the right mind state, we gonna be gone. We ain't sticking around for this shit. So, y'all go ahead. Peace till next time.